Hello YouTube, I'm your Huckleberry, and this is the Benchmade Bugout. And let's get into some specs right off. We have 7.5 inches in overall length with a 3¼ inch blade. We are looking at 0.09 of an inch for blade thickness, so a thin little guy there. And we have an S30V blade steel in a nice drop point blade shape with a flat grind and a nice satin finish. We do have Grivery handles here, aka plastic, and it is an axis lock, and it is situated for tip up, right or left hand carry there. And let's get a weight. And this is kind of the calling card of the Bugout here, is the weight of this guy. So let's get a weight and see what we come up with. 1.9 ounces. Are you kidding? So under 2 ounces, yeah, 1.9 ounces. Under 2 ounces for a 3¼ inch blade. That's awesome. That's great size to blade length ratio there. That's amazing. And that's kind of the calling card of the Bugout, right? Is that it is super lightweight, easy to carry. And let's get into some size comparisons. How about we compare it against something a little bit larger? The Hinderer XM18 3.5 inch blade length, the 3.5 inch model. This is the non-flipper, and it's going way over on the other end of the spectrum in terms of weight there. This is much heavier. This is more of a, built as a heavy duty tactical type folder, and this is not. But there you can see the size comp there. The weight is going to be nowhere close on those two. Let's look at it against, how about a favorite of mine, the Spyderco Shaman. And again, I mean, yeah, this is kind of built as a, a heavier duty, more tank-like folder, and this is not. So you can see there's a big difference there. Okay, how about something that's a little more the Bugout speed? How about the Spyderco Chaparral? And there you go. That's a much more favorable comparison there in terms of size and weight, although the Bugout is still going to be lighter than the Chaparral there. But there you go. And how about one more with the Kershaw League? And there's a pretty favorable comparison in terms of overall length, in terms of blade length, in terms of size, weight. Bugout's still going to be lighter than the Leak a little bit, but in terms of overall size, if you've handled a Leak, you got a pretty good idea of what the Bugout's going to feel like, except lighter. Okay, let's get into the pros and cons, shall we? So as I was looking over this guy and handling it and running it through its paces, getting a good feel for it, this guy was sent in by my friend on Blade Forums there, Mr. P. Watson, who sent this in, lent this in to me. This is his, and it will be going back to him, but he lent it in to me, let me carry it around and use it and everything. So a very big thank you to him for supporting the channel and let me handle this guy. But the first thing I noticed as I was handling it and I looked inside there, holy cow, they milled the FRN or the Grivery or the plastic, whatever this is. They milled the plastic handles, and it's not even steel liners. It's just Grivery. And they even milled that to get the weight down to that one ridiculous 1.9 ounces. I have never seen milled plastic handles in all my life. And there it is. There's a first time for everything. It is milled out in there. And not just a little bit. Look at that milling. They milled it out a lot. I couldn't believe that. And I was like, wow. So anyway, there's that, which just kind of blew my mind. But that's how you get down to 1.9 ounces with a 3¼ inch blade. I mean, you got to do things like that. I mean, this was going for ultimate light carry. Is what this was going to try to be the lightest knife that they could make while still having a good, a decent sized blade. And I mean, they achieved it. Holy moly, they milled the FR in, which blows my mind. But anyway, so that leads to the weight and overall size. Because you are getting a 3¼ inch blade, which is a very good usable blade, which is slicey, by the way, too, which is a positive, with that 0.09 thickness there. So it's slicey. And you're still getting a 3¼ inch blade for 1.9 ounces, which is just, hey, that's okay on my book. It carries great. I mean, it just disappears. You don't even notice it because you get the deep carry pocket clip as well, which is nice. And so if you're someone, I wear pants probably 97% of the time. I'm either wearing jeans or khakis or something like that. I'm wearing pants. And so I don't wear shorts very often, but if you're someone who wears shorts more often, this would be great. The kind of basketball shorts, those kind of athletic shorts, this would be a great carry for that because it's not going to pull and tug on those shorts. It's going to be easy to slide in and out. It's not going to weigh you down. So this would be great for people who wear shorts or track pants or, that kind of athleisure wear. If you're someone who wears that type of clothing, this would be a very good knife for you. For the ladies out there, this would be a really good knife to carry because, of course, I know that they really gyp women on their pocket space in their pants. And so this would be really good for that. They should make a pink model of this too. I think I would buy a pink model of this. I would like that. But anyway, moving on. The lanyard hole, which is just kind of integrated into the handle construction, and it does not sacrifice clip positioning for lanyard hole positioning, which is great. I always appreciate that. And it's a large lanyard hole. I mean, you can get any kind of paracord through there just fine. So that's great as well. Again, the clip, it comes with the deep carry pocket clip. Thank you. Thank you, Benchmade, for just including that on there instead of, your standard this or the other type of clip that they use. Honestly, okay, this is kind of off subject a little bit. I wish they would just include a deep carry pocket clip with every knife. Just include it in the package. You don't even have to put it on. You can send it to me with this on, this type of clip on, but then just include this in there. Yes, you can call Benchmade or email them and they will send you a clip for free, a deep carry clip for free. Just include it in the packaging. It won't cost you. If you're doing it for free anyway, just put it in the box, Benchmade. Just put it in the box. But anyway, sorry, rant over. Moving on. They include the deep carry pocket clip, which is fantastic. Thank you, Benchmade, for that. The action, you've got kind of the standard, nice, fidgety axis lock action. Very easy, very, light. Doesn't take much effort to open it. So that's great. The handle texturing. I really like the handle texturing because it's not overly aggressive, but it does give you a little bit more traction there. Not that you are going to be using this knife for any heavy-duty task because you shouldn't, because it's not made for that. This is made for just kind of, light-duty, everyday task, your package opening, your, apple cutting, your whatever. This is not made to, really dig in there and pry or anything like that with. That's not what it's designed for. And any use like that is misuse. So don't do that. And so, I mean, there's a lot to like here about the Benchmade Bugout. But there are a few cons as well. We're looking at, a lot of people question the durability because you can flex the handles like that. Because it is not, of course, stilled line. It's just, plastic there, plastic handles. But I find when I am holding it in my hand, and this is in my size extra large hands, by the way, look at that. A 1.9 ounce knife fits in my big old meat paws like that. It's a full 4-finger grip. We're pushing it a little bit when I get into kind of a saber grip and choke back a little bit, but you know, in a hammer grip or whatever, just kind of a standard grip, it does fit pretty well. I don't really feel it flexing in my hand, you know, when I'm sitting here and I'm just using it. And again, this is not a hard use knife. You shouldn't be really bearing down on it just too much, I don't think. You know, that's what your, you know, shaman is for. or other similar knife, your XM18, your, you know, whatever. That's for a different knife than this one. That's not what this one is made for. But even then, I don't really feel it flex. I don't fear that this is going to break on me in any way. Now, if you're jamming this into something and twisting and doing this, which you shouldn't be doing with a pocket knife anyway, if you got to do that stuff, use a fixed blade. But if you're doing that, could this flex and twist off and snap? I guess so, yeah. Is it more likely to do it on this one than the XM18? Yes. But that's not what this was designed for. And doing it and using it for that is misuse. Don't do that. The action. Now, while it's the standard, you know, it flies open, as you can see there. D10 is good. It's not going to shake out on you. But right about here, maybe you can hear that. It's a little gritty. It's a little gritty. Now, this knife has been used. Mr. Watkins there has used this knife some. I've used this knife some. But I think, you know, that grit is, I don't think that's just from use and grime getting down in there, to be honest. I think that's just just a little bit of a gritty action from the factory. So the action can be a little gritty. The lock, this axis lock here, you know, if you pop it open there with a little bit of authority, it can stick on you a little bit, the axis lock. It's a little sticky. There you go. I mean, you can kind of tell there. It's a little sticky, and that's probably just due that it needs some break-in, and you know, over time with use, I'm sure that action would probably smooth out a little bit, you know, especially if I, you know, broke it open and cleaned it, and I'm sure the axis lock would, the lock stick would decrease over time as well. But you know, it's there. It's there, that lock stick. Now the clip, while I do appreciate the fact that it's a deep carry clip, it is a little short. It's a tad short, which I don't really know how I feel about that. I mean, it's okay. It's not particularly bad, I don't think. But I do think I would like the clip to be a little bit longer. You know, I'd like it to come down a little bit further. The clip is just a touch short, in my opinion. It should have been a little longer. Again, that may have been, who knows, that may have been another, I mean, when you get down to 1.9 ounces, you are looking at every tiny little thing to save those ounces when you're trying to get a knife down to under 2 ounces with a 3 1/4 inch blade. But anyway, and all those are, the durability I don't question so much. I know other people do. And I mean, I guess people don't have confidence. They lose confidence in a knife when it can do that. But I mean, if you're using this knife for what it was designed for, durability, I do not believe will be an issue. If you misuse the knife and abuse the knife, yes, it will likely break on you, as will a lot of other knives. But if you're using this knife properly for just your kind of everyday, you know, task, then you'll be good. I don't think the durability will be an issue. Overall, I really, really like this knife. Oh, and it's a truly ambidextrous knife with the axis lock and the ability to flip the clip. That's something else that I want to throw in there. It is a truly ambidextrous knife, which is always nice, and a lot of Benchmades are, which is nice. But overall, I really, really, really like this knife. I do. I think it is a good knife. It is a good design. It's got a slicey blade. S30V is an acceptable steel. It is $119. I don't believe I've said that yet. It is $119, which is, like any Benchmade, is not a bargain. Benchmade is not a bargain. Is it overpriced? S30V. I mean, maybe a little. I would like to see it maybe under that $100 mark. I think you'd have a pretty good, you know, made in the USA, of course, as most Benchmades are. It is made in the USA. Is it overpriced? I've kind of gone back and forth with this. I think if it were under $100, so, you know, you save 20 bucks there, you bring it back to like $99, I think that's more appealing, even just from a mental standpoint. You know, being under $100 for a brand new Benchmade, I think it would be nice. I think that a lot of people would have really liked that. I would have really liked that. But at 120, it's okay. It's not a bargain. It's not, you know, anything like that, but it's okay. You're as long as you know what you're getting, it's not bad. Guys, there's always going to be the butterfly tax. We all know that. There's always going to be the butterfly tax. You know, I was watching a cutlery lover video. He did a video on the Bugout, and he said he thinks they missed a golden opportunity to put a cheaper steel on here. He was saying like 8CR or US 8, which I wouldn't do that. I don't like either one of those steels. That's a personal thing. But if you were to put something like 14C28N on here and charge $50, then I think you're on to something Benchmade. Then you're getting down, and I believe, and if you can keep it made in the USA, that's important too. I don't know if you'd be able to do that at that price, but if you could, made in the USA, 14C28N, around $50, $50, $60 for a Benchmade, boy, I think that'd be a home run. Because then you're competing with, you're getting down there and competing with the, you know, the Civivis of the world, and you're competing with Steel Wheel and Real Steel and those other brands, you know, those Chinese brands that are giving you a lot for your money. And I think that, you know, that's not really a market that Benchmade caters to very much at all. But I think they could have done it with this design. You know, you put a 14C28N blade on there, or, you know, similar steel in that vein, in that price range, and you charge, like I said, 50, 60 bucks. I think that would have been a home run, I think. As is, it's a great knife. I enjoy it a lot. I am considering buying my own because I like it that much. I like the blue. I don't think I mentioned that either. I really like the blue. But anyway, overall, it's a good knife. If you want a really lightweight knife, I mean really lightweight, with still a decent amount of blade, 3 1/4 inches, go buy one. This is a good knife that will disappear in the pocket, and you can just carry it around and use it for your light duty task, and you're going to be golden. Really like the knife. It's a good knife, I believe. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Do not forget to like or dislike, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.